One last thing, Lauren, that I want to say here is that I could promise you this much, that you'd be very hard pressed to find a man more smitten by you than I am. And I feel very confident in saying that you will never find a man that would appreciate you more than me, that would love, honor, cherish, and respect you more. I'll be so sweet, so kind, so gentle with you. All right, let's see what else I got for current, recent events and talking points here. What do we got here? We got this, people that oppose this universal basic income. More and more people are realizing that, hey, you know what? At this point in history, maybe we better just do something like this as triage and thwart these evildoers at the top that keep destroying the working class. Just think of the benefits. I mean, traffic plummeting overnight on the LA freeways, Bay Area freeways, abortions plummeting, crime plummeting, the national debt plummeting, dubious warfare plummeting, the social welfare state plummeting, all because of universal basic income. We had this woman, this Sadie Roberts hyphen Joseph, that was slain in New Orleans, the civil rights leader there. We all heard about. Well, it turned out that it was a man that was one of her tenants. It was that he was in the rears on his rent about $1,200. So this was one way he was trying to get out of paying this $1,200. So for a few bucks, this woman that was precious to the community and by extension America and the rest of the world, these kind of people, the Martin Luther King Jr. types. You understand, for a few bucks. So all you people that oppose a universal basic income, it was your fault. You understand? It's your fault. All those crimes that are induced over a few bucks because of desperate poverty, those are your fault. All those homicides, they're your fault because you mock and ridicule people that say we should just give money away. Give money away. You stand before God someday, at Judgment Day, and you say, this is my belief, and I stood by it, that we should not give people money for doing nothing. And God asks, well, whose planet is it? Well, how are you going to answer when he says, whose wealth was that on the planet, that intrinsic wealth, all the resources? Who did that belong to? What were they trading on Wall Street? So how are you going to answer that? Okay, just remember, you too will answer, because a lot of you people you call yourselves Christians, and you call yourselves conservatives, and you call yourselves Republicans, and you call yourselves capitalists. Well, you're a bunch of frauds, and you're going to go to hell. You're going to be living in that place where those people that would rather rule in hell than serve in heaven, the hypocrites and the weeping and the gnashing of teeth, those are the people you're going to be stuck with. So I suggest all you people that mock a universal basic income, you get on board. I'm not worried. It's not for me. I'm talking about my people looking back, saying, well, who's to blame for the horrors in our society? Over a few bucks, these horrors are being committed. It so easily could have been prevented, circumvented. And it's not my fault. I'll tell you that much. I'm an egalitarian. I'm a good American. I'm an idealist. I'm a conservative. I'm a fiscal conservative. Take that $50 billion a year that's being spent, wasted, this Section 8 housing that we're renting houses. We, the people, me, a taxpayer, you, a taxpayer, we're pissing away, okay, on renting people houses instead of buying them houses and being done with it. Do you understand the idiocy here? Idiocy, idiocy, idiocy writ large. Buy them houses, for God's sake. Call it liberal. I don't give a crap what you call it. I call it fiscally prudent. Don't be an idiot. Okay, do you know the difference between renting and buying in the long term? I mean, what is this government? People are paying property taxes, and they don't. This is forever. Generational. I mean, we go, oh, well, they say they're just doing a temporary tax and register. We've got to get the roads fixed. And then they never remove the tax. Do you ever hear of these lawmakers and politicians reducing their pay later? They give themselves pay raises for doing an abysmal job. They put it on your backs. They're supposed to be serving you. I mean, the whole thing is such a mess. that I say, yes, a universal basic income may be just the ticket. Yes, watch inflation. Let's get to the causes of inflation. Who's manipulating market? Who's colluding with who to do this? To rig and fix prices? Who's doing this? Who's working against the best interests of the American people at large? Who are these people? God help us. I mean, we're in a lot of trouble, people. A lot. We're being really stupid, being really wimpy, not standing up to the tyrants. And I'm telling you how it starts. I'm not saying your landlord's a tyrant. They don't even know what's going on. They're just doing they're just part of the system. That's it. They're just going with the flow. They're just doing what they were trained to do. They're complying. They're conforming to the establishment. This is the way all the other landlords are raising their rent. I got to do what my peers do. Otherwise, they're not going to respect me. You understand? This is how it works. So even if they don't need the money, they're raising your rent. You say, well, that's not fair. If they don't need it and they're getting rich off the rent I'm paying them now, you get it. You starting to get it. We need minimum wage to catch up with it. Because minimum wage, that dollar figure, affects all the other trades and skills people have. You think it doesn't? Of course it does. Okay? And what it would do if there was true accountability where every single year the Labor Department resets minimum wage. If the cost of living goes down, wages go down. Yes, it's a two-way street. Because the worth of your currency is still going up. So if your wages were $10 an hour and they went to $9, but that 9 was worth actually 11 now, you understand that's still progress relative to capitalism. You're getting richer. You're getting more prosperous. You understand? So let's just be honest, not be disingenuous, and we can fix our problems. We got to admit that there's plentiful, simple solutions, but there's all these people that don't want things fixed. You understand? They see that as going against their best interest, a conflict of interest, in other words. If you start solving problems of just the problem of desperate poverty, just think of all the jobs that would be in jeopardy of being irrelevant, unnecessary jobs, useless. Do you understand? I mean, we're talking about the crime industrial complex. We're talking lawyers and judges and clerks and jailers and on and on and on. Okay, we're talking people that are employed in the financial services industry. Approximately 25% of the American people in some capacity are employed in the money lending industry. Do you understand? Monetary instruments, wealth preservation, investments, all that kind of crap, stocks, bonds. The dubious warfare industry, they wouldn't be able to get started. All the people in the social welfare industry. You understand all the people that perceive that it would be bad for them if we fix the problem? We're in a lot of trouble. I mean, madness is the rule of the day in America now. Everybody seems to want to be in Babylon. I mean, you've got to ask yourself, if 99.99% of the people want to live in madness, okay, and they're on the highway to hell, what are you going to do for you as an individual? What are you going to decide to do? Are you going to take the right path? Are you going to be righteous in the sight of God and man and do the right thing and have the right belief systems and come out of Babylon, come out of ignorance and confusion and choose correctly to be a decent, upright human being and to put your foot down and help others, even if you don't see how it's going to help you? And it's going to help you. Okay, it will. I mean, you do something good for others, it's going to come back to you, I promise. The karmic laws. You're going to get, hey, whoever gives one of these little ones a drink of cold water will not lose his reward. And when you do things for other people, you're going to receive your reward. It's a promise. God can't lie. You're going to get it, man. When you do good things for humanity, you bless God through doing that, and he's going to bless you. Okay, you are going to be a happier, more well-adjusted human being. And you, best yet, I mean, we're talking about eternal salvation, where you go from here, what you're going to be found worthy and deserving, the realm that you're going to from here. Okay, I mean, I tell you what, it's priceless to me. Okay, that future generations can't blame me, at least, and you could say the same. They're not going to blame you if you're a good egalitarian, if you're an idealist, and you're fighting the good fight, and you're speaking out in behalf of others that aren't as strong as you. They don't have the megaphone you have, that don't have the wherewithal, okay, that you have to speak out. Okay, do something for other people and you'll be blessed, because we're all selfish. But when you do selfless things, it turns out it's selfish because you become happier. So if being happy as individuals is selfish, then we must do selfless things. Okay, this is how it works. God knows what he's doing. He makes perfect systems that nobody can circumvent. You can never be satisfied with pseudo happiness. Okay, but that's what a lot of people think they're doing because they've succeeded as defined secularly, worldly wise speaking. And nothing can be further from the truth, because God is the grantor of true happiness. So we've got to give a damn. We've got to care. We've got to love our fellow human beings, even those that hate you without a cause. It doesn't mean your guard shouldn't be up. Of course it should be. You think these people want to kill you. I mean, these are murderous monsters. They're willing to kill the head of the state of the most powerful nation on earth to get their way because they love money that much. Talk about the root of all evil. I mean, this is biblical level evil. This is evil writ large in our face. And this is the rule of the day. We had a coup in America in 1963 when they murdered JFK, and we haven't had any semblance of capitalism. We haven't had America since then. Okay, basically, that's it. That's the reality. This Trump is a racist, xenophobe, is a bunch of crap. Big fat diversion, distraction from what they know they got coming, class warfare. These Democrats, they're not socialists. They're certainly not egalitarians. You hear them? How often do you hear them bringing up that term? Talk about that in terms of just being good Americans and caring about everybody and equality and all that kind of thing. No, they don't want to talk about doing the math. Bernie Sanders will educate the American people about, let's do the math, 15 an hour. No, Bernie, listen to the people that say, like Stacey Herbert, who really is honest, at least 30 minimum. Okay, just to be comparable with that dollar an hour in the early 60s. The buying power that dollar an hour had would need to be around 30 now. It's all math. It's the consumer price index. It's inarguable. It's undebatable. It's irrefutable. Talk the math, Bernie. If you're really honest and you're not disingenuous, then just educate the people. Stop throwing out this $15 an hour figure. That's peanuts by today's standard, especially in California. You can't afford to be a homeowner anywhere in California at $15 an hour. That's stupid. That's stupid. So what am I saying? The only answer is to raise wages? No, I've already said repeatedly, wages could go down, but it's all about the consumer price index. Who's colluding to manipulate markets and raise your prices, your cost of living up? To whose benefit, whose pocket is that going in? What's really going on here? So who's educating on this issue? Democrats or Republicans? No, because they're all in cahoots with each other. It's unspoken collusion that they're engaging in. Because all these people own real estate. All these politicians get paid sufficiently so where they don't have to be tenants. They don't have to rent their housing. They're owners. So yes, they don't care if the price goes up. They see that as a good thing. Property value, they never talk about how it's a form of currency dilution, that it's bad because your housing dollars are worth less, and it just caused a chain reaction, a cause and effect situation where everybody's got to pay housing costs, right? So it runs up their housing costs, and they've got to get more for their goods and services, whatever those may be. You understand it, but people don't get it. And it just turns into a rat race, a dog-eat-dog, cutthroat situation where people drop out. The kindest, gentlest, the sages among us don't want nothing to do with it. I mean, it's obviously a rigged game, and who the hell wants to play in a rigged game? I don't want to play in a rigged game. I don't want to play in a rigged game even if I win. I don't, especially then. I've got a conscience that I value. I've got integrity that I value. I've got a reputation that I value. I've got a soul that I value. How about you? Okay, aren't those good enough reasons to not want to be a part of a rigged game? Even if you win the rigged game, you don't want to win-lose. You just don't want to play the damn game. But it's crammed down our throats from birth. You could be free in any other way, but forget being born financially free, right? No, they got you by the throat, okay? And they want to keep you there under their thumb, under their control. So all these politicians colluding with the money printing class, that is the juggernaut, my friends. That's who is to blame, not your landlord, not anybody in your local community. Okay, they're small fries compared to this. They're just drops in the bucket of this mess. You want to turn this thing around? You want to try to extricate us on a local basis? You want to help on a grassroots level? That's where you got to go. You got to blame correctly, point the finger correctly, indict these damn politicians that are just stabbing us in the back while we bleed out and they're riding high. They think they got it going on, man. They're in the halls of power in Congress and the Senate, the executive branch. Oh, there's somebody with their status and all